Kicking you off with the interview, Rock Band Network Artist of the Month, the main drag for June, or the latter half of June, as we're left with now. But they deserve every bit of recognition they can get in that 2 weeks. Main drag, sitting uncomfortably close together and next to me. It's tremendous. How are you guys doing?
Not bad. How are you?
How are you?
Do you guys wanna introduce yourselves? Let everybody know what you do at Harmonix or not at Harmonix.
I'm Matt Bach. I design games at Harmonix.
I'm John. I work on the website Community of Yelling PR team.
I'm Dan Cardinal. I do not work at Harmonix. I'm a live sound and studio recording engineer.
I'm John Carter. I work as an associate producer.
Dan's done some work for Harmonix.
That's
right?
true.
Yeah,
freelance recording.
Dan
for,
mixed the Penny Arcade
yeah,
tracks
sure.
for the Sex Generals that we played on stage.
Are You Really a Woman and War Machine?
War Machine. Coming soon to the Rock Band Network. You know who did the authoring for those?
John Carter?
John Carter.
Oh, John Carter. Awesome.
Already immediately breaking your one interview rule of I'm not going to talk unless someone asks me about it.
Every question is directed at me in my mind.
Like that rule was ever going to happen.
Yeah, seriously.
So did you guys all meet through Harmonix, or were you guys a band and then kind of like came together here? How did that work?
Well, before
We
all met
met
before
before
Harmonix.
Harmonix.
One by one, we all started working at Harmonix. I started working there my senior year of college, and then as John and John finished up their work and school at Harvard, they also joined us at Harmonix.
Classic. So not quite an accidental grouping here.
Definitely.
We've been a band in some iteration of like 3 or 4 of us for about 7.5, 8 years. Long time.
And is Rock Band the first video game that you've been in?
Well, there's that Mega Man thing. Oh, no. So, yeah.
That was us. That was the Mega Man theme song creator.
Yeah,
I always get us confused.
Pretty much the
That
same.
wasn't us.
It's a common problem. So you guys were on disc for Rock Band 2, Shaggy Gorgeous winner. And the feedback was apparently so overwhelming that you felt compelled to put an entire 2 albums worth of content into Rock Band Network.
yeah.
I think we figured that
It's really a numbers game.
if it can,
That's really fun. I thought that would be fun to play.
That was a good time?
Yeah.
You liked it?
Yeah.
My feeling is that we don't really know what our songs are like until we see them in Rock Band. I don't really know what it is to play the song, or I can't compare the song to other songs I've heard until I played it in Rock Band.
That is a good selling point for all of Rock Band Network.
I only experience music in an interactive format. That's what you're saying.
I say my life is sunglasses. She held my stare and we both confessed how we held our breath to refocus, to refocus, to refocus. I say.
So what was the process like getting your songs into Rock Band Network, where you could experience that for the first time?
Well, complicated and arduous.
Yeah. Well, we started well before after RBN was public, but well before it was available to the general public. So we had tools internally before most people did because we work here, which is nice. Leg up. Unfortunately, we decided to do so many songs that it didn't really matter, and we still ended up crunched like everyone else did. But we managed to get all 2 albums worth, so 17 songs in RBN. But 3 weeks after launch, we were all set. So it was mostly just, it's a kick-ass community, right? It's like a great number of people on the the forums there on the creator side.
So how can they say we're over? How can they know if I don't? How can they say we're over? How can they know if I don't?
You know, they really like gave us a ton of awesome feedback, and you know, for no benefit to themselves other than hopefully liking our music a little bit. And we've reached out to some of those guys and sent them CDs and things like that, trying to repay whatever favor we can because they're really nice guys. But it was a long process, a lot of long nights, a lot of plane flights filled with authoring. But we're done now.
But digging into old sessions we never thought we could
Oh.
open again and
Bouncing things down and
bounce out
bouncing
random
down.
tracks.
Yeah, that's the one thing I think a lot of fans in rock band in general don't understand, where they complain that we can't get X band to give us their music, and like we're a pretty modern recording band in terms of the way we record everything to computers. It's all back up on hard drive, and it's not impossible to access things. But even for us, getting stuff down for the record that we had just finished in the winter was not the easiest process in the world. So I can only imagine analog tape from the 80s is probably not simple, but we got it all done. It took a lot of late nights, but I'm psyched about how it turned out.
And if you had to guesstimate like how many hours you put in, like did all four of you guys work on it? Were you burning midnight oil around the clock?
We all worked on different facets of it.
Yeah.
John handled the submission and community interaction portion of it as well as a fair amount of the authoring. But I think it's an inestimable number of hours that have been spent between the four of us. But John?
If you ballpark 40 hours a song, which I think is actually pretty reasonable with all the revisions and mixing and things like that, times 17 songs is what? That's 280 plus 400, 680 hours. So about 700 hours, we'll say, give or take, in the course of like 3.5 months. Which I think is like the amount of work I did at Harmonix, like plus another amount of work I did at Harmonix. So it's like, it's cool. I didn't get paid for that time.
So that's 700 some odd hours in addition to stuff for the Sex Generals and like other weird miscellaneous tracks that you guys have been involved with.
We did two of the tracks for Lost, from Drive Shaft and Geronimo Jackson. And we did a song for Felicia Day for the Guild.
Yeah, you guys are kind of like, you're kind of the Harmonix like ghost backing band. Like whenever some weird thing comes in from Penny Arcade or from some weird gaming site, like you guys provide the backing track, right?
Well, yeah, that's one of the cooler things is that John and I have been able to actually go into the studio with Dan to work with in Somerville. And Jerry from Penny Arcade, Tycho, wrote a bunch of lyrics for a song, one for his band, the Sex Generals, and one for the Sex Generals, but it was about a charity that was auctioned off, and a charity song auctioned off at Child Support. And we went in the studio and we made some ridiculous metal songs, which if you know the main drag is like not our oeuvre per se, but they came out
really good at it.
We're also really apparently good at making really stupid like power rock from the late 70s, the tap solo. So that was pretty fun.
I just want to point out right now before we start that while we may have spent, 700 hours doing this, I probably spent a total of 4 hours of my life actually.
Dan makes real music all the time. I don't know. I think there's a lot of bands that were interested in the T-Mobile thing.
We all bought My Touch Slide 3G.
What? The future of phones. Yeah. So we're I don't know. It's a cool thing, right? It's cool to be in the front menu, the T-Mobile Artist of the Month menu in the store, and we have a nice call out. You can download our song for free on tmobile.com/rockbandnetwork. I think something close to that.
Ringback Tones.
Ringback Tones. He's just saying things that you can get on T-Mobile now. But yeah, no, T-Mobile's a really...
Buzzwords are good though.
They're cool. It's cool that they want to connect fans to music, fans of their devices, I guess, to music. I hope that we can be featured in a bigger way on T-Mobile's website or Twitter or devices. They can have our music for free. Call me T-Mobile. You have my number because literally you are a phone company.
My Touch Fender Eric Clapton edition.
Hey Rock Band people, go to themaindrag.com to see more of this video that I'll steal from Eric later and download our free track, Don't Let Me Down Slowly, at tmobile.com/something rock band. Look, it's probably under the video. Click it.
It's probably right here.
Right? Like where my belt, no, don't zoom down there. Like where my belt would be, but like here, yeah. And then also go to themaindrag.com for a free code to get half off at our store to buy t-shirts and CDs and stuff that's not digital music. Thanks, we love you.